Let's do this.
As it turns out, having a newborn is exhausting. So when I'm not at home trying to help my wife raise our son, I've been trying to sneak out to the beach and piece together some sessions and film some videos.
It's been an exhausting couple of weeks, and when I've been able to get out, I've just been doing some surf fishing and sneaking over to the beach because it's something that I can be gone for an hour or so and jet back to the house if my wife needs any help with the new baby. And it's funny, when I think of surf fishing, I feel like the first thing that comes up in a lot of people's minds is like you walk down the beach and there's a row of 20 guys all with rod holders and their 12-foot rods, and they're just sitting there with pyramid sinkers and pompano rigs fishing for pompano and whiting and croaker or whatever. And that can be fun and it has its place, but to me that's kind of boring. But during the summertime, during Florida, there's like a special type of surf fishing where you can go down and sight cast snook and catch huge snook and have your chance at catching a giant fish on light tackle. And that's what we're trying to do, at least.
Hey, real quick, just want to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Mystery Tackle Box. If you don't know Mystery Tackle Box is, they're a subscription-based company and sends a box full of lures to your door every single month. I could not recommend it more. It's great for novice or expert anglers because, one, if you don't really know what you're doing, it'll send you lures to get you headed in the right direction. If you're a more experienced angler, it'll give you lures that you may not normally try that might end up working and get you out of your comfort zone, especially if you feel like you're in a slump and you're not catching them like you should. Sometimes all you need is a little bit of a change up. I'll have a link down below where you can pick up your Mystery Tackle Box. Whenever you do that, it helps support me as well, and I greatly appreciate it. Go down and check out that link below. That is all. Surf fishing is kind of like playing a slot machine. Some days you show up to the beach and you pool and nothing's there. Other days you might go up and just have a mediocre fishing session where you catch a few small fish but nothing too crazy. And other times you might pool and hook a giant tarpon or catch a cobia off the beach. Anything can be there, but if you don't show up, it's never going to happen. The conditions really couldn't have been better. The wind laid down beautifully. He's had a small chop right against the shore. Out deep, you can see center consoles running around looking for dolphin and tuna. But up close, you had sharks and snook and jack cruising in the surf looking for bait. Probably the biggest benefit of getting out early is giving yourself an ample amount of time to dial in what the fish are trying to eat. And I spent most of the morning throwing something they definitely weren't. But that's what you have to do. You work through it, and as the day went on, I started to kind of piece things together, and when the afternoon came along, we kind of hit our stride. After hours of just pounding sand, basically, it finally happened. We were hooked up. Now, I think a common misconception when fishing the beach for snook or even redfish, jack, you always think that you have to cast out as far as possible to catch big fish, but they hunt right in the trough, right where the waves are breaking, trying to ambush prey, and that's exactly what the snook was doing. Just sweeping a bucktail jig right through the surf across the bottom, and there he is. One of the toughest parts about catching fish off the beach is this moment right here, going for the landing in the surf. And a fish like a snook, we really want to make sure we don't just horse them and drag them across the sand. So we lighten up the drag and kind of just slowly pull him in with the waves and see if we can get a hand in his mouth. Now, not a giant by any means, but an incredible fish, probably around 24, 25 inches, a beauty out of the surf. A little male that is probably chasing around big giant females that we're actually looking for, but all good fun nonetheless. A couple 100 yards down the beach with a quick walk, slinging the bucktail, ended up finding our way into another fish. Just another mid-range male on the hunt for a big honey, but fooled him into thinking our jig was maybe a croaker or a sand perch or a little pilchard cruising through the surf. This one not as much as a jumper, but a lot more of a runner than the last one. Putting up an awesome fight in the surf, just thrashing around. Such a tough way to keep a fish on when they thrash like that right in the waves, but we did everything right and slowly worked them in. A quick grab in the surf shows just how easy it is for these fish to throw your lure under the right circumstances. But we kept this one on, and we won't even bother pulling them out of the water, just sending them back swimming healthy. I've lived in this area my whole entire life, and sometimes I take for granted how ridiculously beautiful it is. But it is Florida, so as beautiful as it is now, it can turn nasty in the blink of an eye. As the rain started to clear up, a school of jacks came surfing through a wave right into the shallows, and I started sprinting down the beach trying to chase after them and get a cast into them.
There it is. Oh, that was so cool, man. That was awesome. Oh, they're not huge ones. They're like maybe 8 to 10 pound jacks. There's a school of like 20 of them, and they were just riding in the trough so hard. And I cast at him once, but the cast didn't get in front of him. So I sprinted, caught up to him, nailed him. So dope. Not the targeted species today, but can't get mad about a good volley. Unbelievable. Don't need to necessarily care that much about the fish. More about catching it. That wave, like the sprint down the beach, is just super cool. Super cool. Hey, it ain't as big as I thought he was. It's like 5 pounds. Oh, that was awesome. I'll tell you what, man, what's so fun about fish on the beach is they're so strong. They're fighting the waves, they're fighting the current, and they will just get right in this trough where the waves are breaking and just sit there and have their way with you.
Typically for me, most videos are like a single adventure in a day and trying to accomplish as much as I can and film as much as I can in a day. And right now with the new sun here, you know, it's been pieced together throughout the week of trying to escape and get out when I can and do a little bit of fishing. You know, it'll definitely be a little bit of an adjustment, but it's just been super rewarding already to just take care of him and see him grow, even if it's only been 11 days since he's been born, you know?